What's up everyone, we're going to be going through the best WNBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see, we actually got 23 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We only got one pick wrong and got 23 right, which is a 98% win rate. Yes guys, you heard that right. 98% win rate for the second day in a row. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 98% win rate and get 23 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon. Should be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure you join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $3,000 just yesterday, and another member who won $1,750 for the fourth day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description, so go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group, and I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout out to AkPack6059 who said bag work, shouts out to Say No Mo Sports who said my guy, and shouts out to Ricardo Gioza 2981 who said let's get paid, let's go. So shouts out to them, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick, and when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're going to be talking about is none other than Skyler Diggins, and this one is for 5.5 assists, and this one actually is for less. Now looking at Skyler Diggins, we actually have seen her go on the under in 1 out of the last 5 games. Now looking at those 5 games, you see on August 6th, faced off against Minnesota, actually had 7 assists in that matchup. After that, actually faced off on August 9th against the Las Vegas Aces and actually had 6 assists there. August 11th, faced off against LA Sparks, had 6 assists. Then August 14th, faced off against Atlanta, had 4 assists in that matchup, and then 11 assists against Atlanta on August 16th. So it is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, we have seen her go on the under in 1 out of the last 5 games. But on top of that, what we also have seen is that when it actually comes to her average over the last 5, it is 6.8. So it is slightly above her line, but as we all know, Skyler Diggins and the Seattle Storm team do face off against Phoenix Mercury. Now it is definitely going to be an exciting game between both of these teams. Now looking at where both of these teams do actually rank, obviously starting off with actually none other than Seattle Storm. Seattle Storm do come in at the 8th spot in the WNBA. Now it has been a little bit tough for them because we have actually seen, Seattle Storm do come 8th in the WNBA, but also rank 5th when it comes to, the Western Conference. So it actually is pretty interesting to see there. Now, looking at this matchup, we do very much see as well that Seattle Storm have a record of 17 wins and 17 losses. That's a 50% win percentage as well. And on top of that, they are 8-9 at home, 9-8 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. Now, looking at their matchup, Phoenix Mercury, we do see Phoenix Mercury do come in at the 4th spot in the WNBA, so much better, and they also rank 2nd in the Western Conference. Now they have a record of actually 19 wins and 13 losses. That's a 59.4% win percentage there. They're also 11-6 at home, 8-7 from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. So it is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at where Mercury and also Storm have actually ranked themselves, they rank themselves in a very good position. And looking at both of these teams, it is going to be an exciting game. But looking at where actually Phoenix Mercury rank when it comes to assists allowed, Phoenix Mercury do rank 7th. So they rank pretty mid-tier, so nothing really too crazy. However, when you look at a more in-depth analysis, we do see Skyler Diggins is a guard, and Phoenix Mercury actually do a fantastic job at restricting assists to her position. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for this situation here. We definitely do like the under for this situation here for someone like Skyler Diggins coming into this game, due to the fact that Phoenix Mercury have just done a fantastic job against guards, time in and time out. So coming into this matchup, it's definitely going to be an exciting one. We do very much like the under. When we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have our favorite for the under as well, so that works out in our favor there. So for that reason, Skyler Diggins, 5.5 assists for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about another great player, and that is none other than Alicia Gray. So Alicia Gray, great player as we all know. Now, this one is actually for rebounds, for 5.5 rebounds, and this one is for less. Now, looking at Alicia Gray, we actually have seen her go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, you see on August 4th, faced off against Washington Mystics, actually had 6 rebounds there. After that, then faced off against Chicago on August 8th and had 4 rebounds in that matchup. August 11th, faced off against Phoenix Mercury, had 5 rebounds there. Then 11 rebounds against Seattle Storm on the 14th. And then 5 rebounds against Seattle Storm on August 16th. So we definitely have seen her, do a pretty poor job over the last 5 games, unfortunately. And even some of the games that she has gone on the over, it wasn't really convincing enough to us. As that first game, she only made it over by 0.5 there. Now, coming into this matchup, it's going to be an exciting one. But we do also see when it comes to Alicia Gray and Atlanta Dream, they do have themselves a very good matchup against Golden State Valkyries. Now, this one's going to be an exciting matchup. And looking at where both these teams do rank, starting off with Atlanta Dream have actually been on quite a roll as of lately because they have actually, upgraded their position because they currently now rank 2nd in the WNBA. Actually, most recently knocked off New York Liberty, and not only do they rank 2nd in the WNBA, but they also rank 1st in the Eastern Conference, so they were able to take Liberty's spot there. Now, they have a record of 21 wins and 12 losses. That's a 63.6% win percentage. On top of that, they are 10-5 at home, 11-7 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak as well. So it is pretty interesting to see. Now, obviously, looking at someone like Alicia Gray, she has definitely helped this team immensely. And looking at their matchup, Golden State Valkyries, we do know Golden State Valkyries do come in at the 6th spot in the WNBA. Not only that, but they come 4th in the Western Conference, so they are a great team there. And on top of that, they have a record of 18 wins and 15 losses. That's a 54.5% win percentage. They are also 10-5 at home, 8-10 from away, and are currently on a 4-game win streak. So it is pretty interesting to see there. Obviously, looking at this matchup, it's definitely going to be an exciting one, but we also do see when it comes to Alicia Gray and also the matchup against Golden State Valkyries. Looking at Valkyries, we do know Golden State Valkyries do come in when it comes to rebounds allowed. They actually come in the 5th spot. So, Valkyries do rank very, very well when it comes to restricting rebounds. On top of that, they also rank very high when it comes to restricting rebounds to the guard position. That's a big, big reason why we do very much like the under for this one here. For someone like Alicia Gray, we definitely have seen her do a fantastic job time and time again, but we definitely are expecting the under for this situation for someone like Alicia Gray coming into this matchup. Now, obviously, looking at Alicia, we have definitely also seen her have her usage rate be a little bit on the lower side as of lately, and we definitely see that playing a huge, huge factor coming into this matchup for sure. So that's a big, big reason why we do like the under for a situation like this. We are expecting someone like Alicia Gray, on top of the fact that her usage rate has remained pretty low as of recent. We definitely see that affecting it greatly. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the under for this one. So Alicia Gray, 5.5 rebounds for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next player, we're actually going to be talking about another great, great player, and that is none other than Sug Sutton. So Sug Sutton, great player as we all know. Now, this one is for 9.5 points, and this one is for less. Now, looking at Sug, we actually have seen her go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we do see on August 6th, faced off against Chicago, had 8 points there. Then August 9th, faced off against Minnesota, had 4 points in that matchup. Then August 11th, faced off against Dallas Wings, had 0 points in that matchup. Then August 14th, faced off against Golden State Valkyries, had 15 points there. Then August 16th, faced off against Indiana Fever, had 13 points. And on top of that, we also have seen when it comes to this, matchup, her average over the last 5 is also 8, so significantly below this line. So as I mentioned before, obviously Washington Mystics and Sug Sutton have themselves a very good matchup against the LA Sparks. Now, it is going to be an exciting game, but looking at where this game will go, we do know, looking at, LA Sparks and Washington rank-wise, starting off with the Sparks. We'll start off with Washington Mystics, actually. Mystics have actually fallen quite a little bit because they come in at the 10th spot in the WNBA. Not only that, but they also rank 4th in the Eastern Conference as well. They have a record of 15 wins and 18 losses. That's a 45.5% win percentage. They're also 9-7 at home, 6-11 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. On top of that, they face off against the LA Sparks, where the LA Sparks do come in at the 9th spot in the WNBA. And on top of that, they also rank 6th in the Western Conference. So they've done a pretty decent job there. Now, looking at this matchup, we do know that Sparks do come in with a record of 16 wins and 17 losses. That's a 48.5% win percentage. On top of that, they are 6-10 from home, 10-7 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So it is pretty interesting to see there. Now, obviously, coming into this matchup, we do know when it comes to Sug Sutton and also the LA Sparks. Looking at LA Sparks defensively, we do know Sparks, when it comes to points allowed, they do rank 13th. However, the reason why we do like the under for this one is due to the fact that Sparks have shown time and time again that they actually do a fantastic job at restricting points to the guard position. So for that reason, we are definitely liking the under for this situation here for someone like Sug. We definitely see her going on the under due to the fact that her usage rate has actually remained low, and has actually remained low especially against tougher defensive teams. Yes, she's gone on the over sometimes, but that is definitely due to the fact that she has faced off against teams that, do allow a lot of points to her position, and she has been able to take advantage of it. But coming into this next one, we should see a very different story. So definitely keep an eye out for Sug Sutton. When we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have our favorite for the under as well, so that works out in our favor there. So Sug Sutton, 9.5 points for less, I think is a great pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player we're going to be talking about is none other than Natasha Howard. So Natasha Howard is a great player for none other than Indiana Fever, and we have seen her do a fantastic job when it actually comes to Fever, because she's actually averaged 11.5 points, 6.8 rebounds, 1.3 assists, and 1.2 steals. So she's definitely done a great job there, and when it comes to Indiana Fever, they do find themselves with a very interesting matchup against Connecticut Sun. Now, looking at where both these teams do land, we do know when it actually comes to, Connecticut Sun and Indiana Fever, both are a little bit different when it comes to their ranking. However, both are in the same conference. So starting off with Indiana Fever, we do know Indiana Fever do come in at the 7th spot when it comes to the WNBA, but that is overall. So when you look at that, we do see, 7th in the actual overall WNBA. But on top of that, when you also look at their ranking in the Eastern Conference, they rank 3rd in the Eastern Conference. Now, they have a record of 18 wins and 16 losses. That's a 52.9% win percentage. And on top of that, they also have a 10-8 home record, 8-8 away record, and then also have a 2-game losing streak so far. So when you look at that, it's definitely been a little bit interesting there, because we have seen when it comes to Indiana Fever, although they have been doing well, throughout the regular season, they have been on a little bit of a losing streak. Now, they face off against Connecticut Sun. Now, Connecticut Sun are doing, pretty poorly, as they do actually rank 13th when it comes to the WNBA. They rank 13th overall for, their Eastern Conference. They also do rank last, as they do actually rank very, very low, and are also the worst team in the WNBA. And they have a record of 6 wins, 26 losses. That's an 18.8% win percentage. They're also 5-11 from home, 1-15 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So it's definitely been very good there. Looking at both of these teams, obviously, Indiana Fever do rank much better, but looking at Connecticut Sun defensively, we do also know when it actually comes to, Natasha Howard, Indiana Fever, Connecticut Sun's defense, they do rank 11th when it comes to points allowed, 11th when it comes to assists allowed, and then 12th when it comes to rebounds allowed. So obviously, looking at that, we have seen Connecticut Sun not only are, a poor team in general, but are a poor defensive team. And that's a big reason why we do very much like the over for this situation here. We definitely are expecting someone like Natasha Howard to be able to go on the over in a situation like this, due to the fact that when we actually look for someone like Natasha Howard, she does have a great usage rate, especially a little bit more in points and rebounds, but, we definitely have seen her be be able to take advantage of it and go on the over, especially in similar situations. Now, looking at this, we also do know at her last 5 games, we see on the 6th against LA Sparks, 191 loss with 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists there. After that, on the 8th, faced off against Phoenix Mercury, had a 95-60 loss with 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 0 assists there. And then against Chicago on the 10th, had a 92-70 win with 7 points, 10 rebounds, and 0 assists. And then on the 13th, faced off against Dallas Wings, had an 81-80 loss with 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 assist there. Then on the 16th, faced off against Washington Mystics, had an 88-84 loss with 11 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist there. So obviously some games we have seen her go on the over, some games we've seen her go on the under, but that's just kind of the nature of sports. But looking at Natasha Howard coming into this matchup against Connecticut Sun, it's definitely a no-brainer to us on why we do like the over. Connecticut Sun have definitely struggled, and we do know at this point Connecticut Sun are pretty much just throwing this entire season. So we aren't really expecting that much pressure from Connecticut, and that's why we are expecting a bit of a cakewalk for Natasha Howard coming into this game. So definitely keep an eye out for the over for this one for someone like Natasha. Keep an eye out for the over, but the best way to look at it, as I always say, is that keep an eye out for the line. If the line is under our averages, then definitely look to go on the over. Now, getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about Gabby Williams. So Gabby Williams, great player from none other than Seattle Storm, and she's done a fantastic job for them because she's actually averaged 12.4 points, 4.5 rebounds, 4.4 assists, and also 2.4 steals. So she's definitely done a great job there. Obviously, looking at this one, we do also see when it comes to Gabby Williams and Seattle Storm, we have them facing off against Phoenix Mercury. Now, it is going to be an exciting game between both of these teams. Obviously, we are heading into, kind of the later half into the season, so every game really does matter quite a lot. And coming into this matchup, looking at where both of these teams do rank, starting off with Seattle Storm, Seattle Storm have fallen quite a bit. They do actually find themselves in the 8th spot in the WNBA. So they have fallen like just slightly. Now, they do still rank 5th in the Western Conference, which isn't too bad. Anything can definitely still happen. Now, they actually have a record of 17 wins and 17 losses. So 50% win percentage there. They are 8-9 from home, 9-8 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak as well. Now they face off against Phoenix Mercury coming into this game. Phoenix Mercury, as we all know, do currently rank 4th in the WNBA overall, but they rank 2nd in the Western Conference, which is huge. So they have a record of 19 wins and 13 losses. That's a 59.4% win percentage. On top of that, they are 11-6 from home, 8-7 from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. So it's very interesting to see there. Obviously, looking at this matchup, we do very much like this situation, as we do like, defensively. Looking at Phoenix Mercury, we have actually seen Phoenix Mercury do a pretty good job. Now, they actually rank 4th when it comes to points allowed. When it comes to assists allowed, they do rank 7th, and then rebounds allowed, we also do know they rank 10th. So they rank a little bit mixture in all 3 categories. Definitely a little bit interesting to see there. Now for Phoenix Mercury, obviously we do know how they have done. Like I mentioned, 4th in the WNBA or 2nd in the Western Conference. Now they do have a great record, but coming into this matchup, we do actually like the over for this situation here for someone like Gabby Williams, but strictly or more likely in the rebounding and assist department. Now, a big reason for that is that when it comes to Gabby Williams, yes, she is a great player, and she does have a decent usage rate in all 3 departments. Now, obviously, Phoenix Mercury do rank a little bit lower in rebounds and assists when it comes to it defensively, but on top of that, what we also have seen is that when it comes to Phoenix Mercury, they also do a very poor job at restricting rebounds and assists to the forward position. It's a very interesting situation because when you do see, Phoenix Mercury, although they have done very well during the regular season, we have definitely seen them, allow quite a lot of rebounds and assists, especially the forward position. And a big reason for that is due to the fact that Phoenix Mercury do like to play some pretty fast-paced type basketball. Obviously, the quicker the pace means more availability and more opportunity to score, rebound, and assist. However, for this one, we are definitely focusing a little bit more on rebounds and assists for someone like Gabby Williams. Now, when we look at Gabby over the last 5 games, we did see her on the 6th faced off against Minnesota Lynx, had a 91-87 loss, and had 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists there. Then on the 9th, faced off against the Las Vegas Aces, had a 90-86 loss and had 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists there. Then on the 11th, faced off against LA Sparks, had a 94-91 loss with 5 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. And then on the 14th, faced off against Atlanta, had an 85-75 loss with 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. And then on the 16th, faced off against Atlanta, actually had 11 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists there. So it is pretty interesting to see. Now, obviously, looking at someone like Gabby Williams, we definitely have seen her, do a fantastic job during the regular season. But over the last 5 games, we definitely have seen her usage rate remain pretty strong. And coming into a matchup against Phoenix Mercury, we definitely do like the over for this one. But as I mentioned before, we are strictly looking at more rebounds and assists for someone like Gabby Williams. So definitely keep an eye out for it there. So, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about none other than Iliana Rupert. So, Iliana, great player for Golden State Valkyries. Now, she has done a fantastic job for them because she's actually averaged 8.8 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 1.4 assists. So, she's definitely done a great job there. Now, obviously, coming into this matchup, we do know when it comes to, Golden State Valkyries, they find themselves in a matchup against Atlanta Dream. Now, it is definitely going to be an exciting game between both of these teams, but looking at this further, we do also know, looking at their matchup, Atlanta Dream and Golden State Valkyries as well, looking at where they rank, starting off with the Valkyries, we do know that they come in at the 6th spot in the Western Conference. Not only do they come in at the 6th spot in the Western Conference, but they also have a record of 18 wins and 15 losses. Now, they are 4th in the Western Conference as well. They have a 54.5% win percentage, and on top of that, they are 10-5 at home, 8-10 from away, and are currently on a 4-game win streak. So it is pretty interesting to see there. Now, obviously, looking at this matchup for the Golden State Valkyries, they do find themselves in a matchup against Atlanta Dream, where Atlanta Dream have actually most recently taken the 2nd spot in the WNBA, which was actually previously by New York Liberty. So they were able to win their a couple of games, and Liberty were able to lose a couple of games, and it actually has had Atlanta Dream step up that spot. And we actually do find them 2nd in the WNBA, but also 1st in the Eastern Conference. So they've been on an absolute run as of lately. They do have a record of 21 wins and 12 losses, a 63.6% win percentage. They're also 10-5 at home, 11-7 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. So obviously, Atlanta Dream are looking to try turn things around. Same with Golden State Valkyries. As I've mentioned, they are in the second half of this season, and they are really pushing for wins when it comes to both Atlanta and Golden State Valkyries, as they do want to set themselves up, to make the playoffs, obviously. Now, looking at Atlanta Dream defensively, we do know Atlanta do rank 3rd when it comes to points allowed, 4th when it comes to assists allowed, and then 1st when it comes to rebounds allowed. So Atlanta Dream have been on an absolute tear as of lately, and a big reason being for that is due to the fact that their defense has remained very, very strong. That's a big reason why we do like the under for this situation here for someone like Iliana. Atlanta Dream have definitely stepped it up on defense. They did rank pretty well early on in the season, but definitely not to where their caliber of defense when it comes to restricting points, rebounds, and assists is now. So it's definitely been a bit of a whirlwind for him. Now, coming into this matchup, we do very, very much like this situation because we do also see when it comes to, Iliana, we do know she is a center, and Atlanta Dream actually do a fantastic job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the center position. So we definitely are expecting the, under for this situation here, as we have seen Atlanta Dream just continue to play really aggressive defense as of lately. Now, looking at the last 5 games, you do see on the 7th, faced off against Las Vegas Aces, had a 78-72 loss. Actually had 2 points, 1 rebound, and 0 assists there. Then on the 10th, faced off against LA Sparks, had a 72-59 win with 4 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists there. After that, on the 12th, faced off against Connecticut Sun, had a 74-57 win with 10 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. And then on the 14th, faced off against Washington Mystics, had an 88-83 win with 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. And then after that, on the 16th, faced off against Chicago, had a 90-59 win with 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists there. So it is definitely interesting to see. Obviously, looking at someone like Iliana Rupert, we have seen her do very, very well at times. But with this new matchup against Atlanta Dream, unfortunately, we still do like the under for this. So we don't really think you need to focus on any. I think all have the capability to definitely see her go on the under. And that's why just keep an eye out for that in general. So Iliana Rupert, keep an eye out for the line. If the line is too close to her averages, then definitely look to go on the under. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Haley Jones. So Haley Jones, great player from none other than Dallas Wings, and she's done a fantastic job so far this season, actually averaging 6.8 points, 2.9 rebounds, 1.9 assists, and also 0.6 steals. Now, when we look at this matchup, it's definitely going to be an interesting one because we do know Dallas Wings have themselves a matchup against the Las Vegas Aces. So it is definitely going to be an exciting game there. Now, looking at this matchup, we do know, looking at where, both these teams do actually rank. Starting off with Las Vegas Aces, we do know, we'll start off with actually Dallas since Haley Jones is from there. Starting off with Dallas Wings, we do know they rank 11th when it comes to the WNBA. So overall, they rank 11th, but they also rank last in the Western Conference. So not only that, they rank 7th, so in the Western Conference, or last in that sense. They have a record of 9 wins and 25 losses. That's a 26.5% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 5-13 from home, 4-12 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. Now, getting into the next one, we do know Dallas Wings face off against none other than the Aces, and then Aces do rank 5th in the WNBA. Not only do they rank 5th in the WNBA, but they also have a record of 20 wins and 14 losses. That's a 58.8% win percentage, and on top of that, they are 11-5 at home, 9-9 from away, and are currently on a 6-game win streak. So looking at that, we definitely have seen some pretty interesting things, because we do also know when it comes to Las Vegas Aces, especially them ranking 5th, they also rank 3rd in the Western Conference as well. Now, looking at them defensively, we do see Las Vegas Aces come in at the 9th spot in the actual points allowed, and then also they rank 9th when it comes to assists allowed, and then rebounds allowed. They also do rank, you guessed it, 9th as well. So they do rank very consistent, but very low at that, and that's why for someone like Haley Jones, we do like the over for this situation here. Now, Haley Jones does have a little bit of a bigger usage rate or higher usage rate in the points and rebounds department, so I definitely would keep an eye out a little bit more for that than anything else, due to the fact that when you look at someone like Haley Jones, we do very, very much like the over for a situation like this, due to the fact that, points and rebounds is where I do believe PrizePicks will release their lines at. Now, looking at our last 5 games, we do see, on the 6th, faced off against New York Liberty, had an 85-76 loss there, and had 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist in that matchup. After that, on the 9th, off a back-to-back against New York Liberty, actually had an 88-77 loss with 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists there. After that, we saw a face-off against Washington Mystics on the 11th and had 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. Then on the 13th, faced off against Indiana Fever with an 81-80 win with 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. And then against the LA Sparks, on the 16th, had a 4-point, 2 rebound, 4 assist game with a loss of 97-96. So very close matchup there. But coming into this next one, we do very, very much, as I mentioned, like the over against especially someone like Las Vegas Aces. Aces have definitely struggled when it comes to them defensively, and that's why we are definitely sticking to the over for this situation here.